showers. Developing stories we're following closely here at the Weather Network. Of course, where is Maria headed next? Another major earthquake that struck the country of Mexico. And summer-like warmth in the east versus summer snow in the west. We're going to break down those details. Let's take a look at our alerts that are in place right now. Still do have special weather statements through some of the passes. Okanagan Connector, Highway 3 as well. Be alert that you may see some a little bit of snowfall, some messier conditions when you're driving. Snowfall warning still in place for Jasper, Hinton, Cache Creek, and rainfall warnings up to 60 millimeters as we head through the next 12 to 24 hours for South Peace River. Now, these cooler conditions have really been all due to this upper level trough, upper level low. That continues to push further east, but behind it, some good news if you're not ready for the snow just yet. Milder air moving in. A ridge is going to be advancing towards the coast as we head towards the weekend. So condition-wise, we still are looking at single-digit highs. Edmonton, I know you saw some accumulating snow yesterday. You will likely see a little bit of a rain-snow mix through the day today. Yeah, that snow line is going to be still creeping pretty close to you. Vancouver as well, a little bit below seasonal, but we will get into some more seasonal weather by the weekend. There is that steady stream of moisture that continues to pool in the elbow region of Alberta's high elevation snow, rain as well. So we'll continue to see those unsettled conditions. And as that low tracks further east, the risk for thunderstorms widespread across northern Ontario. This low brought in about 90 millimeters quickly in southern portions of Manitoba yesterday. That front continues to push further east, but high pressure still in store for southern Ontario. We also do have tropical cyclone statements for southern Nova Scotia due to Jose. Now I want to send things over to Chris Murphy with our top videos. All right, thanks for that, Chris. As we take a look at the satellite imagery, the San Juan radar is actually down because of the landfall this morning. It is going to take more of a northward turn, not expected to make direct landfall on Dominican, but will still be bringing in those hurricane force winds and continue to ride around a ridge that's in place over the Atlantic. Well, yet another major hurricane we continue to monitor in the Caribbean right now. Maria, a Category 4 storm, strong Category 4, sustained winds of 240 kilometers an hour, made landfall on the island of Puerto Rico at about 7:15 a.m. local time. Now continues to track over the island northwest of Dominican as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. Now this storm bringing in sustained winds of 240 kilometers an hour, rainfall localized up to 600 millimeters, will continue to bring devastating effects to the island. And I just want to show you what some of the residents and what the CNN reporter was experiencing this morning. And this is basically what we end up resulting with. And it's all due to this area of low pressure right here. Continues to pool in moisture right up against the Rockies, northern Rockies. And east of this, you can see our jet stream starts to dive further north. That's really where these summer-like temperatures have really been locked into place across eastern Canada. Meanwhile, temperatures in Alberta still in the single digits for the remainder of this week. Today, Thursday, Friday, the first day of fall. It's going to be feeling maybe a little bit more like winter. Meanwhile, southern Ontario still going to be experiencing these warm temperatures. By Sunday, the city of Ottawa will be feeling closer to 40. And this Mexico earthquake that struck yesterday, magnitude 7.1. We saw videos on social media of buildings crumbling in Mexico City, and this one was just shy of 2 weeks from the 8.1 magnitude quake that struck. Now we're going to take you, it did actually wipe out the radar data over San Juan, so we continue to keep an eye on Maria with infrared satellite, damaging winds and surf from the storm, but it is going to stay north. It won't be making landfall, and it'll continue a northward track just east of the eastern seaboard of the U.S. Now, conditions for us here at home this afternoon, we're seeing still summer-like warmth in place across southern Ontario and Quebec. Conditions great across Newfoundland as well. Meanwhile, in the west, this is where conditions are a little bit cooler, a little bit more fall or maybe even winter-like, with residents in Edmonton waking up to some snow yesterday. But are those conditions going to be sticking around? Let's take a look ahead into the future. It's your Long Ranger. Well, Friday marks the first official day of fall, and we're still going to be seeing those single-digit highs across Alberta, chilly across Saskatchewan, even in Manitoba as well. British Columbia, though, as we head into the weekend, drier weather, and we're also going to be seeing temperatures return back to seasonal. Models, some suggesting there may be a front that moves in Monday of next week, but overall, not a bad stretch of weather. And then you can see Vancouver, slight chance for some showers as we head into the start of next week. Calgary as well, conditions will be improving as we head later on into the week. You can see more right now in your locals. Now, where is Maria headed next? We'll break down those details throughout the hour. Also, a magnitude 7.1 quake that struck just 75 kilometers south of Mexico City, and summer heat in the east versus summer snow in the west. Yeah, it really has been a contrast temperature-wise across our country this week. As we take a look at our overall atmospheric pattern in the west, an upper-level trough and upper-level low is really what's to blame for these cooler temperatures across the west these last couple of days. Single-digit highs for places in Alberta. Snowfall warnings still in place for the Elbow region. Rainfall warnings as well for South Peace River, up to 60 millimeters in the forecast there. And special weather statements in place for southern British Columbia through some of the passes. Kind of trickier driving conditions. We are seeing a little bit of accumulating snow on the roadways, so, maybe you do need your winter tires now. Okay, significant rain still falling across northern portions of the prairies, 30 to 50 millimeters. That's why we still do have rainfall and snowfall warnings in place. And we saw significant rain with thunderstorms across southern Manitoba yesterday. That thunderstorm risk is now in place across northern Ontario, but down towards the south, we've got lots of high pressure sunshine in store for the remainder of the week. I want to send things over to Chris Murphy right now with our top videos. All right, thanks for that, Chris. Where does Maria head next? Well, it continues to steer around this ridge in the Atlantic. We still do have Tropical Storm Jose, which is going to break down that ridge and force Maria towards the north, which is good news. Well, we're going to get to your weather story, but first in international news, a 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck the country of Mexico yesterday, about 75 kilometers southeast of Mexico City, but did bring in crumbling buildings. It looks like there is still quite a bit of cleanup, people still searching for survivors. Here at home, we saw some snowfall in the city of Edmonton yesterday. Cooler temperatures still settled into place across Western Canada. Single-digit highs can be expected for the remainder of the week across Alberta, but we will see some warmer weather as we head into next week. But as we take a look at this model, snowfall still continuing to the higher elevations, even some lower elevations as well. Grand Cache down towards Hinton. Even as we get closer to Edmonton, a little bit of mixing may be possible depending on exactly where your temperatures are hovering around. But as we head towards the end of the week, that's where we'll start to get into some drier weather. Snowfall, though, snowfall warnings still in effect for areas like Jasper, Cache Creek as well. Rainfall warnings up towards South Peace River, up to 60 millimeters. So there is quite a bit of moisture that is pooling up against the Rockies. Meanwhile, southern portions of Ontario feeling the heat extremely warm. Now I want to send things over to Chris Murphy. Well, thanks for that update, Chris. That's continuing to monitor where Maria is headed next, again staying northward of Hispaniola and north of most of the Dominican, but we will still see those impacts. Of course, we continue to monitor kind of the cleanup from the magnitude 7.1 quake. We want to check in with Chrissy Van because she asks experts, after all of these significant earthquakes, is this something that can be predicted? Have a look at this. Take more of a northward turn, and this is due to kind of a subatlantic ridge that's in place. That's going to continue to steer it further to the north, still remain a major hurricane though. For us here at home in the city of Ottawa on Sunday, it's going to be feeling closer to 40. Meanwhile, in the west, we may have skipped over fall and headed into winter because Alberta saw some snowfall and its first snowfall and kind of experience through the day yesterday in the Edmonton area. That was just west of Edmonton. This same system actually brought in significant thunderstorms across southern Manitoba. So it all was dependent on what type of air mass it was in. Across northern Ontario today, we've got the risk for some thunderstorms, and in place across southwestern Nova Scotia, we still do have tropical cyclone statement for Tropical Storm Jose, which is going to stay well off the coast, but still bring in some higher surf and also still keep that tropical moisture lingering around in tropical temperatures as well. But is there an end in sight to this heat? Let's take a look now in the Long Ranger. Okay, temperatures for Friday, the first full day of fall. Still feeling like summer in the city of Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, all the way into the Maritimes as well, Kate. The middle towards the end of next week, the last couple days of September, that's where we will start to see that pattern change across the east, bit of a pattern reversal once again across the country. And you can kind of see that coming into play by Wednesday in Montreal, Ottawa as well. You'll see temperatures starting to relax a little bit, not that extreme heat. In contrast to the west, we will actually start to see temperatures rebound back to seasonal as we head into the beginning of next week. Okay, coming up, we've got your local forecast, and we will show you more images from Hurricane Maria. Time now for a look into the first full weekend of fall with Dr. Doug. Our pattern across the country still looking fairly similar to this past week, and temperatures still feeling more like summer in the east.
They sure are. We have record-breaking heat on the way for some areas. Meanwhile, feeling like fall still in the west, but temperatures will be recovering as we go through the weekend. The boundary between summer and fall continues to be the focus of active weather. We've already seen some heavy rainfall.
Right.
Saturday, a bit of a break. The stormy weather will be a little bit more scattered, but becoming more widespread as we go into Sunday. Over the next 7 days, some of these areas will be seeing 50 to 100 millimeters of rain. Also, we have wet weather for the north and central coast of BC. Some of these showers getting down to the south coast on Monday, but high pressure and hot weather for Ontario.
Yeah, 29 for the city of Toronto, Montreal 30, and you were saying that could be a record if we do get to 30.
Right, it would be a record if we get to 30. Also a record for Ottawa if we get to 31. Lots of sunshine, and with the humidity, some spots are going to see a humidex approaching, maybe even reaching 40.
Wow.
But a cold front to the north bringing cooler weather and some unsettled weather. That front only making slow progress next week, but a delightful weekend for the Maritimes, not as hot and humid. Warm day on Saturday, but trending cooler for Sunday in Newfoundland.
Okay, so as we take a look at temperatures nationally into Monday, you can slowly start to see that transition, that boundary creeping towards the east. Meanwhile, the west starting to see a rebound.
Right, and we are going to see a pattern reversal by the end of next week. We're going to see the focus of the above seasonal temperatures in the west. It will feel like fall centered on the Great Lakes, but the other big story next week will be the track of Maria. Uncertain in the exact track, but we're certainly going to keep an eye on that in Atlantic Canada, and this will also influence how quickly we see that pattern change next week.